Hey guys, Professor Fat Shady here again. I wanted to deviate just a little bit from the regular Trials videos that I put out. I just wanted to give a brief explanation and maybe a brief discussion about what it is I'm doing, what I guess I want to do with the channel. I've had a bunch of questions from people about how I do it, asking about software and how the graphics and everything work. So I just thought I'd go through very briefly and just give you a brief explanation about what I'm all about. Effectively, I've been playing Trials since about Trials HD days, about 2009. I have been lucky enough in the last couple of years to end up being able to make it all the way over to Helsinki in Finland, to the Red Link Studios on two separate occasions now, back in about 2012 and 2013-14, and even was sent by Ubisoft to E3 in 2013. So I've got a hell of a lot out of, I guess, just my massive fanboyism with regards to Trials. I've loved the game since about 2009 and haven't really stopped playing. Yeah, I've done a stack of stuff. I've produced some videos, I've written articles from Kotaku Australia, I've done some stuff. I even got interviewed by an Australian television program, so because of the Trials HD riddle about 2012. So yeah, look, I've got a massive amount out of my relationship with Trials, with Red Links and all those guys, and I guess this channel is really about sort of giving some of that stuff back. I've also kind of always enjoyed teaching people about Trials. It's one of these games that you kind of, once you've learnt it, you'll get a huge amount out of it. And I guess I see way too many people get to that point in that learning curve where they just stop because it gets a little bit too hard. And I know that if they would just sort of coach through that process, they would get so much more out and get, you know, such a longer journey through the Trials franchise, I guess. I actually started making tutorial videos in about 2011. I was talking to the editor of Kotaku Australia, and yeah, he's a big Trials fan, and as a result of a conversation about Inferno 2, I said that I'd make him a video. I set up an iPhone, put that on a tripod, and I talked into the microphone of the iPhone while it was recording the screen, just literally using the camera. It was horrible, but it got the job done, and I guess it just gave me the idea. And, you know, a year or two later, I was approached by Ubisoft locally in Sydney here, initially, and then spoke to the Red Links guys about doing some of the formal sort of University of Trials classes. And I've been lucky now on a couple of different occasions to be able to work with those guys to publish those videos. And you may have seen there's been 3 videos released over the last few weeks on the global Ubisoft channel under the name University of Trials. And that's sort of, I guess, what I refer to as the formal lessons that I produce. However, this channel is really my own personal space. You'll notice it's, you know, there's no ads, there's no fancy affiliation. It's purely just me, and I'm putting these videos out at the moment just to, I guess, you know, to a certain extent, it's about sort of promoting the sort of University of Trials brand. It's something that I created, and I guess it's something I'm very proud of, and I'm really appreciating all the feedback and all the involvement I've had from the community. I think you'll probably see from the comments here, maybe it's just because still the channel's very small, but the comments that we've been getting, the dialogue between people, the helpfulness, there's been, I mean, I've been watching the comments intently, and there's been one little argument that broke out on one of my videos about keyboard versus controller. I'll probably stay out of that one, but generally speaking, the comments from you guys has been absolutely amazing, and it's really, I guess, just inspired me to keep going and keep sort of making this stuff. Again, a lot of people asking for tips, asking for help, just wanting to watch people go through this stuff. So, yeah. That's I guess where I'm coming from. As long as you guys keep watching, as long as people are subscribing, as long as people keep asking me for videos to make and things that they need help with, I'll offer my services. I'm far from the best player. I'll say this every video I make if I get the chance. I'm not claiming to be any form of expert in this game, but like I said, I've played since 2009. I've got a good understanding of the basics, and I guess I think I'm more valuable to the community of being able to explain the writing techniques and put videos together and stuff than I am at being a good writer. There's so many guys that are so much more talented than me, and look, plenty of other guys that put out good videos and good tutorials and good other stuff as well. So, but this is just, I guess, what I've fallen into, and I guess what I want to keep going with. As far as how I do this, and I have had a few questions from people on that, I effectively have, and I might just move the camera here, this may be risky, but effectively what I've got here, so you'll get the little view around my house, I've actually got my little console corner set up, so PS3, which is not even plugged in, 360, PS4, Xbox One, I've got, you know, wireless. This thing here is a wireless. The headphones that I'm using are Turtle Beach PX4s. By the way, no product placement. I just pay cash for this stuff. And optical audio switch here, which everything sort of runs through. On my monitors themselves, and I've got a couple of these. Sorry for the bad camera work. A couple of these 27-inch bad boys here. And effectively, what I do, I have an AVerMedia video HDMI capture card. I've got HDMI switches, you can see all my cabling here. I've got HDMI switches here, and this HDMI matrix, which is awesome by the way, which allows me to have 4 HDMI inputs and 2 HDMI outputs. So I've actually got, and then I've got a splitter behind the back. So now what you'll see is that I can have any of the consoles through the matrix into the splitter, and I can output them either. This camera works shocking, by the way. I can display it either through the PC here on the that's the AVerMedia user interface. I can have it directly for like a direct feed into the HDMI of the screen, or I can have it on the sort of plasma, my little plasma that's sitting just over here. So. And then what I do is run it through a program called FFsplit, which I find is absolutely amazing. And what that's allowed me to do, sorry again for the camera work, what that's allowed me to do is build up the different layers that I've got. So I've just made one layer in Photoshop, which is the graphics and all my gamer tags and all that stuff. I've got the webcam embedded down the bottom, and then I've got the gameplay inserted over the top. And you'll see, I'll just put it up on the screen here. This is actually I guess the direct feed of the FFsplit interface. And what you can actually see now is that I've got the AVerMedia gameplay at the bottom. I've got a layer of the video capture, which is my webcam. I've got the video template, which is the PNG file. If you are going to do something like this, if you save something as a PNG, it actually just retains the transparent backgrounds that you'll see. So the reason why you can see things behind this image is because I've saved it as a PNG, not a JPEG. And then just the screen region, which is capturing the stuff you're seeing on screen. So hopefully, I mean, oh actually, and the only other thing I'll show you, just because this is awesome, my microphone. Blue Snowball. I find these things phenomenal. You know, a bit of cash, but I do find them just really, really good audio quality. So I think that's about it. A bit of a crash course to my setup and what I've got going on here, but a bit of a complex arrangement, but you get the idea. If you've got any more questions, like I said, I went through that pretty briefly, but if you've got any questions and you want to do something similar, let me know. I've pretty much set this up like a live stream, and it allows me to sort of capture video and then upload it without any real editing. And I've had to do that just because of my work and family and everything else that's going on. I simply don't have time to do all the complex editing that I do for the more formal University of Trials classes. So this really came out of necessity. In all honesty, I would be live streaming if the Australian internet infrastructure was sufficient. Where I live at the moment, my internet's rubbish, and I wouldn't be able to. I can't actually get the upload speeds required to be able to stream video and all this stuff. So I basically set this up like a live stream, but rather than streaming it live, I actually record it live and then upload it. Actually, the last thing I do is run it through Handbrake as well. Pretty simple compression suite, and what you can do is I'll take a 400 odd meg video and I'll compress it down to about 150 meg before I upload it. So yeah, again, if you've got questions about what settings I use and all that stuff, let me know. But that's in a nutshell the setup that I've got going. The last thing I wanted to finish off here, and I know I said this would be a brief video, and it kind of isn't. You'll probably know by now that that's my style. The last thing I want to talk about is, I guess, what I see for the future of this channel. I posted some stuff on Twitter today that we've sort of cracked about 800 subscribers, which I'm stoked about. I think that's fantastic. And you know, I'm not a big name guy, so yeah, I really appreciate everyone that subscribed and everyone that likes the content. So from that perspective, I think yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, certainly my goal now is to sort of try and crack the 1,000 mark and see what comes from what happens from there. And I think the only way that'll happen is by me just putting out regular and good content, answering questions, engaging with you guys. And yeah, I guess just stimulating that discussion about, I guess, the more technical aspects of the Trials games. Apart from that, I'm considering running some competitions, and I am actually trying to chat to some people. I've got a few ideas and a few leads on people that I can have a chat to try and get some competitions and maybe even some prizes and stuff. In saying that, potentially some of this stuff may be limited to certain regions. So yeah, we'll see what comes up, guys. I can't say much more, but I'm optimistic that I'll be able to do some of that stuff too. And again, that's all about just sort of giving back to you guys, giving you more of a reason to watch, and also sort of stimulating more of the discussion and getting more people involved in the channel. So yeah, that's about it from me. If there's any questions about anything else, let me know. Otherwise, I'll wrap this up and get into some actual tutorials. Thanks, guys.